Hi, I just got done with cardio. It is 1:20 p.m. I don't love wearing. I know a lot of people like Apple Watches. I'm not a huge fan. I use it because there's a stopwatch on it, and for coaching classes, I've learned to appreciate that a little bit more instead of having an actual stopwatch, especially coaching in large group experiences. That's why I wear an Apple Watch. I really actually don't monitor anything else on my Apple Watch. I do everything through Whoop, which I've had for like 4 years. Anyways, not that that matters. I just got done incline walking, and I figure I'm going to talk for a moment as I let my food cool down a little bit. It's been my Hot Logic, so it's ready to go. I just did 20 minutes of incline walking, so hence the huffing and puffing. Not really, but I'm sweaty if you can't tell. And I am eating my third meal, which is 3/4 cup of rice, 4 ounces of chicken, almost 2 cups of veg, a little shy of 2 cups of veg, and a couple tablespoons of that hummus that I mentioned in the last video. It's a little Mediterranean vibe, that's usually the vibe for lunch. I mean, as we get closer, I know, if you've been following along, I need to stop saying I hate when I'm doing that. I notice it a lot more from coaching group. If you're somebody who coaches group fitness, you should record yourself and listen to it back. It's horrible. It's like nails on a chalkboard, but hugely beneficial to understand your tick words, which I would argue, like doing this, I learned that more too, so that you can work on the way you speak to people. I keep getting sidetracked here. So if you've been following this along, I know I've said this before, I really appreciate the way Rael has instilled in me, going back to micronutrients. And yes, we focus on parameters that we eat within, but we respect the micronutrients as well. That being said, as we are getting closer, nutrition tightens up a bit more to the point where I just don't have as much variety as I had really the past 6 weeks. So I'm just tightening up things a bit more, meaning every lunch is the same. Every other day's dinner will be alternating basically between chicken and ground beef. Those are the two there. I still keep eggs in the mix. I have an egg with my breakfast now. I don't remember if I shared that update that I had added an egg, and I added almond butter, a tablespoon of almond butter to breakfast probably 2 weeks ago now. This will remain the same. The carb will come down a little bit. I'm going to expect that in the next week or two. It'll start being 3/4 cup to a 1/2 cup. And meal 4 is 4 ounces of meat with kimchi. I've been really bad about my juice. It's been terrible. I need to get back on it. I have everything to make it. And that's, again, micronutrition that I need to not miss. So goals this week, I'm doing that. So I'm done incline walking. I'm going to eat my food. It's starting to cool off, and it looks, I don't know if you can really see it, but I know it looks like mush, but it tastes so very good. I think it tastes good. I should always put an asterisk on saying those words when we have been working towards this and continue to get closer to this stage. So anyways, I'm going to eat. I'm going to spend 20-30 minutes. I'm going to review the choreography. So I want to start, this is going to be a new thing for me because I've not really done this in the past. Usually I'll just go to the cheer gym and I'll focus on my practices. I'm going to start taking time in the week to put myself on the hard floor. I'm not, with no intention of doing skill, every intention though, of starting to really own choreography. And I think Andrea, she said this in the video I just watched recently, and I think this, I agree, Andrea, with what you had said. There's so much talent. There's so much talent in this division that what's going to set people apart is going to become performance. And that is why I had chosen to reach out to Donnell and why I'm structuring my routine different this year. And it's not that it's not jam-packed with skill. It is. But the moments that pause, they're moments that I want you to feel excited to continue to watch. Like, oh wow, she is like owning, performing that. Andrea had said her goal is to make people cry this season, and I love that. My routine's not gonna make you cry. It's not that kind of, it's just not that vibe. That's not, I think at one point in my fitness career, I wanted that, but I've also kind of quickly found that's not deep down here. That's not how I perform. I perform theatrics. And so the word I would use is my routine is very flamboyant. It's fun and spunky, and it is nonstop, but the moments that do where I could say it stops, I hope that when you see it, you don't want to stop watching it. Like, you don't want to take your eyes off of it. And I know, because I've had this happen at competitions in the past, you can see it on judges' faces. Some judges are really good at like stone face. I am trying to turn a stone face into a smile. And that lights up my heart. I want feel good vibes. And so exciting is what I want to be when I'm performing. And so anyways, I'm taking time to go on the hard floor to really understand how my body moves, and really accentuating, like not being so awkward with movement, but allowing my body to find my flow. And that makes me feel excited. This is just different than anything I've ever done. So I'm going to spend some time, I'm going to eat. I'm going to spend time doing that. I'm going to spend a not long time posing, but I have my heels permanently. I have 3 pairs of heels. And I have now kept a pair here because I can't just keep posing in my shoes. I keep doing that. Terrible. And I do admit I need to be spending more time on posing. That is a yes. We are on top of it, Melissa. So that's it. It's Tuesday. I think I said that. But if not, it's Tuesday, and that is where we're heading. What's up? It is Thursday, April 30th. It's the last day of April. Holy smokes. And I'm on my way to practice. It's like 2:15 right now. So, plan for today, just real high level, and then I want to talk about something for fitness friends, very specifically. But anyways, now that we're through it, this is going to be pretty typical setup. Running thirds, 30 seconds between them, run the thirds once I'm warmed up. And then I go into halves, and I'll be running 2 halves of each. So that part's new. I'm excited to see that. I'm not one to want to just be like, let's just throw full out and see what happens, but I am growing more increasingly confident that at this point I can do that. I'm pretty sure. I've been thinking a lot about this and just thinking about how I'm stringing together the sections and visualizing it. And I do think I'm there. I'm not certain it's going to be this week, but I do think in the next week or two, I'm going to be in full out land. And when I say full out land, for me, that does not ever mean multiples in a day. When we get closer, that will happen. But usually that's the first thing that I will do is one full run, see where it stands. Like, we get one shot, right? Like, you get one shot on the day of competition. Get one shot in practice. And so that will start coming up. I know I've said I've wanted to, I want to be running full routines a while ago, but it's chill. It's fine. I feel good. I feel good about it. So today I'm going to do that. I'm pretty sure I mentioned this. There was one skill that I'm just not loving. And so I'm going to try a different skill combination in that section today. And again, in my head, this works. We'll see we'll see what happens when I run it, but that's the game plan for today. I'm excited in general because I just feel like at this point we're in execution mode, and this week, this is exciting, I suppose. I have planned to go to 3 days practice starting next week. Well, it turns out that's going to happen this week because Chrissy's coming back on Saturday. And so she's coming back Saturday, and we're going to practice together on Saturday for 2.5 hours. I'm really excited for that. I've never had this with somebody else who I'm competing alongside. And I'm excited for that level of camaraderie and just to be able to help each other out, right? Like encourage one another. And so this will be interesting because I'm practicing today. I have tomorrow, and I'm doing a lower body lift. I'll do Saturday practice with her. I have cardio Saturday as well, I think. And then Sunday I'll have practice. And what's going to become interesting is I thought originally I was going to do Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday practices. But the reality of my life, and everybody is so different with how they have to treat their time depending on their lifestyle and life. The thing with my time is that I'm up so stinking early really Monday through Friday, but especially on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Those are my start coaching at 5 a.m. days. And so, like, in retrospect, I'm thinking on this and really trying to come up with a strategy for this season and what's going to work best. I don't know that it is in my best interest to be practicing twice in a week in that kind of fatigue. Obviously, I do my best to manage it, but the reality is, I've been up for 11 hours at this point, almost 11 hours, and there is a level of fatigue that I feel. And so I don't know if doing that twice a week is in my best interest. It is what I did before. And I do understand that running back-to-back practice days carries an inherent risk as well. But also, there's an argument for I am much better rested going into Saturday and Sunday because I don't have to be up. And so realistically, I think I can get more out of that. So I'm just interested to see how this goes this week. Then I will start making some decisions surrounding that. So anyways, I'm very excited for Saturday. What I was so excited to come on here and talk about. Okay, hear me out. We're in a day and age where you can either get down with AI or you're not going to. And if you're not going to, that's fine. However, I do think there are some things you could enhance and or miss the ball on because it's there, and it can serve as a tool to help you in your life in so many different ways. I am going to share an avenue when it comes to fitness competing that perhaps you had no idea that you could utilize it for. So I am in the very exciting process of creating my costume for this year. Can't wait. This is my favorite part every year. So I've been through several iterations of costumes over the years. And last time I competed, when I got with Rael, she was really the first person who introduced me to a costume designer and someone who does like stage performance costumes. And he actually designs for quite a few IFBB pros that I know of. I loved my costume. I loved the whole process, like being able to guide him, tell him my idea, where my music was at, and then let him work his magic around it. So I'm in the process of deciding. I've got deciding where I'm going to go this year as to who's going to be creating my costume. So I'm not quite solid yet on that. But what I was, I was like on my phone and just thinking, I was like, I'm just going to pop into ChatGPT and just see, like, I'm going to explain the concept. I'm going to be as detailed as I can be and see what happens. I'm obviously not going to show my costume on here, nor listen, I largely do respect the creative process. My intention is not to go to a costume designer and be like, here, create this, but it is to help. I'm a visual person, and it helps me to have seen really what I think my head, what was happening in my head, come out. Oh my gosh, it was great. So I'm gonna do a courtesy here. I did a prompt and I said, let's make a generic costume, because again, while I love sharing all these details and being much more transparent about my prep, I'm not going to share my costume, or at least the costume concept here. However, I am going to share what it did. And before I should say I compete with leg covers and hand covers because I wear braces. Those are things that you can negate. I prompted it the same way that I would prompt for my costume. So we made a generic costume, and the prompts are on the screen, but I am going to, how should I do this? I'm going to see if I can put them in the description notes, like how to prompt ChatGPT with what you would want. And if by chance it doesn't work for me or whatever, if it's too long in the description, I haven't done this before. Sorry. If you watch this and you're like, I want that prompt because I want to work on my costume, message me, comment, and I will connect with you and I will send you the prompt. But look at what this created. What? That is a mock-up costume that, I mean, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Obviously, there are different things to consider. A budget, your colors, the cut, all those things, right? Like, you know, you can change your hair color in it, in the model person, the mock-up model. But how cool is that? Now, I want to go another route. So I've been exploring Claude recently because I've heard a lot of people talking about it and how amazing it is. I love that. Prompted Claude a very similar way, and this is what I got. It's so ridiculous. So, moral of this story is, if you're using AI platforms, there are definitely ones that are better at things than others. That's okay. But also, again, what a neat avenue to take to at least start to get your wheels turning as to what it is I want to create. And if you're somebody who's gonna purchase your costume from a place, I used to go through, I think it was called Dallas Dancewear, was like my first few seasons. I'm not saying you're gonna find exactly this, but you could find something similar. So it depends on what your budget is going to be, the time investment that you're willing to put into it, and ultimately what you want it to relay when you're on stage. I don't think I ever understood when I didn't really understand the importance of costuming until my last season, and just I guess I never had shown this, but here's what was mocked up for me, and then here's what I had on stage. And I loved my costume, and I can't tell you how much it changed my confidence level and the way I was performing it. And full disclosure, I am hoping to get, because I only wore that costume one single time, I'm not wearing it for this routine. This, for what I'm doing, it doesn't match the vibe. But I do have, an idea for something coming down the line, and it would match very much so the vibe of that. So I'm hoping I will get another go at that costume, because I loved this. And again, I had no idea how much it was going to enhance my performance just by bringing up my confidence level with looking more composed on stage. And that's something I learned from Rael, and something she had encouraged me to consider was how I was going to present that part on stage. So anyways, I hope that might be helpful for you if you're somebody who's looking at getting something designed, or maybe you're an individual performer looking for something to be designed. And if you need references of people who do costume work like this, stage work like this, I now know more than one person. And so again, I will share updates as that part comes together. All right, I'm at the gym now, so I'm going to get in there, do the warm-up, I'm going to start breaking it down, look at this section, break it down, do my halves. And then if my body's feeling it, I will continue to work on some skills. If my body is not feeling it, because my hip has been pretty tight after Sunday this past week, I will call it. So it just depends. I will keep you posted. All right, practice is done. A side note, because Hazel's stomach is one, she hasn't thrown up in the last week since she's been to the vet. That's great. New shipment of food got delivered. It went to the wrong place, so we don't have her updated food, which I was just hoping that we're kind of putting a patch on her food for a week. They gave her prescription food that I mentioned last time, and she's not eating it, and it's concerning to me. She will, but she won't eat unless I'm home. Like sitting at home, which is hard because I don't get home till later in the day. So she literally will wait until later in the day to eat. If I'm home on the weekend, she'll eat. Same if Matt's around. She'll eat if he's home. But if nobody's home, she is not eating. So then I get home, she'll eat, but with this food, she has not been eating. I don't think she likes it, which is wild, because in the past when we've given her kibble, because that's not a thing we've given her a lot of in the past, she's liked it. She's not having it. So she's barely eating, and then when she does, she'll eat. She'll be so hungry around 6 when we eat dinner that she will eat her food, but then she gets up in the middle of the night and she eats again. And so last night, she went outside at 8. She had to go out again at 11. Had to go out again at 2 a.m. I love my dog so very much. And I feel like this could be preparing me for having a kid in life. Because I never sleep through the night. Ever. I love my dog. But I want to sleep. So I'm going back to the pet store right now. I'm going to try to get her the wet version of this prescription food. And I'm going to see, her new food should be new food. Like the old food that she did fine on should be here in the next, they resent it. So I think day or two. I'm hoping that she likes this version of it though. This dog is so expensive. So anyways, I'm driving there, and just I also love where I live, but traffic this time of day really stinks, and there's so much construction, so it just takes forever to get places. So anyways, that has nothing to do with practice. Practice was good. So I did not run I ran my thirds, but I didn't do consecutively as I usually do, because once I started moving, my hip feels good. Like my body feels good. I'm cool with that. But my RPE, rating of perceived exertion, felt very high, and my heart rate was not saying that. It was like around I think I did see it get up to about 170, but 170 is not my max where I know it will go in runs. And like around 155, I was feeling gassed. And so this is where you start listening to your body. I think there's moments where you can validate pushing through, but there's also moments that you need to listen to it. And as a female athlete, we also have our cycles to pay attention to. And so I am I'm at the end of my cycle. And there's less room of margin for error, meaning because your estrogen's dropping and your progesterone is still high, your joints can be a little bit more unstable. And just because I've had so much injury in the past, I'm learning not to push through moments like this. And this is something I would have never, ever paid attention to in seasons past. Now I'm listening to that, because my goal is to step on that stage this year. Oh my gosh, did I have that on my face the whole time? I just ate. Oh my gosh, that's so embarrassing. I just stopped and saw that. Anyways, my goal is to step on stage in one very healthy piece this year. I do not want to step onto stage having aches and pains and kind of the usual stuff. And I know some of that's to be expected. Listen, when I I don't go on the hard floor until a couple weeks out because homegirl bruises easily. We've had this discussion. I have a very low ferritin level. My iron stores are something that is a work in progress. Anyways, I know there's going to be a level of soreness that you have to work through. However, outside of that, I'm not doing this year. I'm listening to my body. I'm playing it smarter, not harder. And I'm making game time decisions where I need to based on how I feel. And I think this is where you start to go from being an athlete to being more of an elite athlete, is knowing your own body and knowing when to listen and knowing when to validate that it is okay to hold back. And it doesn't mean that you, or whatever, in this scenario, it doesn't mean that I hold back in terms of I'm not doing anything at practice. I threw everything, literally everything, not a skill missed. Woohoo, we love that. Truly, I'm thrilled, but it does mean we're playing a smarter game this year. It meant I did my runs. I took a little bit longer to rest. I did another run, took a little longer to rest. And because my hip was irritated this past week, I also knew, like, I'm feeling good. After I move my body, I'm feeling good. I don't want to overdo it. Small little downside to practice. I have to watch the video back. I have it on film. I have it on my iPad. I think I went to like step over my water bottle. I twisted my ankle hard. I could walk after it. I was able to do stuff on it after it, and it does not look swollen nor bruised, so I think it's fine. But when I say like I'm gonna pause the video so you can see it. My whole foot is turned under, and that was just walking on 2 feet. I did nothing. So I'm gonna go home after the pet store and ice this ankle. The good news though, after I iced my ankle, I went back into my routine. I was not loving, remember when I said, and I've said so many times, you think in your head this is gonna work, and then it doesn't. Yeah, what I tried was not it. I was trying a front head spring, which I had in my last routine, and I don't mind, but at the right angle. The way I'm doing it, I'm flipping forward, you can see my feet are apart. It's not a cute look, and I don't think it's worth it. So anyways, I worked on it. Took me probably 20 minutes, but I got a variation of this section and I love it. I think it looks clean and fun, and everything flows together. It doesn't stop, and quite frankly, it's a little easier than what I had been doing previously. So I just have to move a little faster. I have to get used to coming out of one of my variations of a push-up and going right into a forward roll, and it just means I can't like stop. I just gotta go. But it looked good. It matched the music well. And then I also have been working, one of my skills I want to take off of a headstand, and I really want it to hold in a handstand. And so I was like, I'm just gonna throw on my music, see what happens. It's first one hit great. I mean, solid. And that's exciting because I would love to have, I have a handstand in there. It's not a long hold. It's kind of a pass-through skill. This would be a pretty, I don't want to say pretty true. It's a true hold in a handstand straddle, like split handstand down into a split. I actually shared a video of this previously. And I mean, again, a hit and routine. Beautiful. So happy with that. And then I worked on my hand balancing section. I don't know if I should use the word exactly hand balancing. Like I do a headstand variation that comes into hand balancing, and it lasts a bit. I'm in the air for a bit, and that was great too. So all in all, practice was good. Again, didn't run my runs the way I had planned. However, I am happy with how it went. So yay. I'm at the store now, pet store. I'm gonna run in, I'm gonna get Hazel some food real quick, and I'm getting right back to the baby girl in hopes that she is gonna eat something. We'll talk later. Bye. What's up? It is Saturday, May 2nd. Excuse me, I am on my way home. So, I just got done at the gym with Chrissy. She came back up so we could practice. And we worked on tweaking some sections of her routine, which I think look really good. I I saw her 2 weeks ago, and just to see the amount of progress in short 2 weeks, really, I think with everybody in this division, this is kind of the mindset most people have, is like, just put your head down, do the work, right? Like, keep moving forward, and you can just see it. She has. And so it was exciting to see how far she's come, and then to work on smoothing out some transitions, make sure, like, I came back to at one point today when we were fixing something, I said, what does your body naturally want to do? Like, where are you trying to go? And she showed me. I said, okay, let's do that. Like, don't fight against what it is your body naturally wants, because ultimately it is not me on stage, it is you on stage, and I want you to feel like you, not like me. And so I'm glad that we were able to smooth out some of that, and she had made some adjustments I think were smart and strong, and so I'm excited to see what's she's going to potentially come back in another 2 weeks, and we're going to do this again. So it was exciting to see her and what she was doing. I looked like trash on the other side. Pro tip. Don't give blood. Well, I didn't give blood. I had labs done today, but like 6 vials, which, listen, I get that's not necessarily a ton, but they were like that big, maybe a couple inches. I did 6 of those. I didn't really think this through. I was like, I'll be fine. I'm going to go practice. No. I ran each of my thirds one single time, and then I did one other section one more time. I couldn't hold anything. Like, flopping around like I usually don't, and my heart rate went to 180. And it usually doesn't do that unless I've run several sections in a row with a 30-second rest. So, word to the wise. Maybe think that through next time, Melissa. And at the time, I'm like, God, why does this feel so hard today? Well, maybe because you are depleted. I'm also going to start my period in the next, like, 24 hours, more likely than not, based on how I'm feeling today and cramping. So, we're doing good. But that's fine. I don't need to look put together to that extent at this point. She did tell me, she's like, I like the moments that pop. Like, there's sound effects, you're doing, like, a big thing. And she had said that was exciting to watch. So thanks, Chrissy. I appreciate the vote of confidence in a moment where I was not my best. It'll be better next time we see each other. I'll actually do more next time. So anyways, we spent 2.5 hours at the gym, which was good. And now I'm going home. So a couple things. Hazel's doing better. Yay! The last 24 hours, she's been great. We love that. And as I mentioned, I had my labs done today, so I'm very excited about this. I want to say last time I did these, I had results within, most of them were in the time span of about 10 days. I would not be shocked if I start getting results tomorrow on some of them. This time around, this lab, I've mentioned this, I think, one other time, maybe in this vlog earlier in the week. I go through Function Health, and there's independent labs that you order. So I did my first round in the end of October, early November. You do 2 if you're a female, because you have to do it when you're not on your cycle, and then towards the end of your cycle, I think. And then you do a 6-month follow-up, and you get 60-ish biomarkers. And then I got a couple additional. So I'm looking at my thyroid to make sure with my prep, my thyroid's functioning well. Excuse me. And my ferritin, is, I had a suspicion last year that my ferritin was very, very low, and I confirmed it. I have several doctors telling me this is not great. We need to understand why this is happening. So we haven't talked about this yet, but I'm hoping it's coming soon. The whole, like, me as a human, what's happening, what has happened, transpired in my life up to this point. I am having an MRI done on Friday of this week to look at potentially, I've had a suspicion of endometriosis for a while now, years, or adenomyosis. So I'm having an MRI done through the U of M, because when I was looking at what hospital system where I wanted to go, staying in a hospital system for now. I have not ruled out going functional medicine if I have to, depending on a lot of things here. Anyways, U of M has an endometriosis clinic, and so because this has been in my family, and the symptoms I've had over the last several years line up pretty closely with a potential diagnosis. They have a clinic for this, and actually the MRI that I'm going to have, I have to go to a very specific MRI facility to have this done, and then I am having it read by somebody who specializes in adenomyosis, just in general, like things that you would see that perhaps a radiologist wouldn't see in general. So I'm excited. I don't want to pour all my eggs into this basket, because even if it comes up that there's nothing going on imaging, I am also very aware that sometimes these things cannot be seen on imaging if they're early on. We'll see. My point in telling you this is I'm having my ferritin checked again, because it mine was at 16, and though I'm not, my iron stores at large, all the other levels that you should see were okay. My hemoglobin was low on one side, that is showing that I'm heading towards more of an anemic state, and one of the doctors I had seen had told me, like, regardless of your iron showing this, like, I would tell you you're starting to experience anemia. Anyways, that's all coming though, likely from these issues that I've been experiencing for quite some time. So anyways, we're looking into that. Does not change what I'm doing on this side of life. It's just kind of an added ringer that I have this thing that I am dealing with, and do often, every month to be exact. So anyways, that's my life. So I'm on my way home now. I just ate my second meal. So I woke up later today. I had to go into blood lab, fasted, came home, had my meal 1, which is my usual, and then that was like 9. I ate at like 9:15, and then it is 12:45 right now. So I just ate meal 2. I'm gonna get a little time at home, walk Hazel, get some movement, and I want to get some walking in. I'll have a shake. I'm like thinking about what my day is now, because like just because I wake up later, my meals aren't the same, so I have to think this through a little bit more. I'm gonna do a shake, and I'll have a little bit of fat and carb source with it, just a little bit, around 3:30. And date night tonight. I'm excited for this one. This has been on the books for a very long time. We are doing a cooking class tonight in Ann Arbor, so we're gonna leave around 3:30, and it's Parisian nights, and so we're making a steak with a peppercorn, I think, like sauce with it. I can't remember what else is going with it, what veg and carb goes with it, but I do remember we're having a strawberry and rhubarb tart as a dessert, so I'm very excited for tonight. I love cooking, and I'm excited to do this with Matt. So we are gonna head out around 3:30. Cooking class is at 4:30. It's 2.5 hours, and so we'll be done around 7. We'll probably pop somewhere. So Matt grabs cocktail, I grab a club soda, and it'll be a fun little night for us. So that's today. Today for me, now knowing and reflecting on the fact that I am fighting a little bit of an uphill battle with where I'm at my cycle and having blood drawn today, I am obviously focusing now on replenishing my body. I did have to drink 32 ounces of water before I even stepped foot in this morning, so I have drank a lot of water. I drank a whole another 20 ounces with electrolytes, plus another 12 ounces of water. So I have drank a lot of water today, but I can also feel I am a little off. I can feel that. So we're just gonna focus on getting my body refueled, taking it easy, having a nice chill date night, because tomorrow is practice with Donnell, and given how today was, we're gonna hope tomorrow performing a little better. So, all right, that's it. We'll talk soon. Hi. All right, it is Sunday. I am on my way to practice right now, just a little bit later than usual. We've had a very busy weekend, and today we have a 1-year-old birthday party to go to. Basically, I will get home from practice, have a half hour, and we gotta go. So, just busy, just trying to get everything done this morning. And so anyways, off to practice now. So we are, I probably mentioned this, if not, we're officially 11 weeks out, which is exciting because the most data I have on my last prep was 11 weeks out, meaning I know exactly from here on out what this needs to start to look like. And it's not, listen, I just talked to Chris about this yesterday. It's hard because you can't compare yourself to every other prep. That's not the healthiest mindset to have, because your body changes, seasons of life change. Certainly where I'm at now is a much different place than I was in 2024. So but that being said, when I say like I have the most data, I have the most like framework on what I've done in the past and what's worked for me. And so I am officially back to what worked for me last time, and I'm excited to see this time around. Like, the variables in my life are very different, and so I'm interested to see how that comes together over the next 11, 13, so on weeks that competition season gets rolling. So starting tomorrow, I mentioned this as well previously, a big schedule change for me in my life with my coaching schedule. So 2 of my classes a week used to be MB360. I no longer have those. They're going over to GTX and Alpha Strength. But that means my output looks different from an expenditure standpoint. MB360, I'm doing the workout, I am walking around, I'm correcting, but I mean, it is movement. I've mentioned before, this kept my heart rate solidly in zone 1, maybe zone 2, and that's an active fat burning zone for me. And so I am modifying my schedule to bring in more cardio, essentially. So I'll be doing 6 days a week of cardio. I will be utilizing Mondays as my off day. And when I say off, I do mean like fully, truly off. Because then from Tuesday to Sunday, it's pretty much go. So Mondays I still have MB360 in the morning again. Now the other change is that my MB360 on Monday and Friday, instead of being 60 minutes, it's only 45. And so yes, off day, but I still will have that movement, and light, gentle movements good. It's especially the Monday MB360, there's not really any intensity work. There's a little burst in the warm-up, but like 2-minute burst. So it's movement and stability and unilateral training, and that I think will complement my plan, continue to complement my plan well. My training protocols amp up a bit more this week, so just if you see me in workouts, and I am not, I love talking, but if anybody was around me the last time I did this, like, head down, I'm not talking. I don't have time to. I have to go, and so I don't need to be rude, but my time is of the essence, especially on the days where I go right from training somebody to workout to going back into class. I just don't have a lot of time, and I need to make the most of the time that I have. So workouts ramp up a bit more this week. It's just, I mean, not as much rest time. It's giant sets, super sets. It's a lot of integration with plyometric training to make sure it's complementing my routine work. And again, this worked very well for me last time, so I'm excited. As much as these workouts are hard, I'm excited to get back to that. I started integrating some of that about 2 weeks ago, but this is the next stepping stone. And then I am officially back to 3 days a week of practice, which I'm going to say this past week was that, although we now know yesterday was not a great day for me. I feel good though today. Yesterday, obviously, I practiced with Chrissy. It is what it is. We worked on her routine much more, and that's fine. I frankly I should have read that situation better. Last night we had our cooking class, which I've been looking forward to so much. One, it was so much fun. I highly recommend. Even if you don't like cooking, it's a really neat experience. And we talked about what we learned after, each of us. It was cool that we both walked away learning something. Each of us, like, oh yeah, you're right. Like, that was something you learned and I learned, but I kind of forgot. So it was neat to walk away knowing a little bit more. But also the food was great. The menu ended up being a peppercorn steak with a pan-seared sauce, mushroom sauce, and potatoes, oven roasted potatoes, and a salad that had walnuts, blue cheese, and it was a homemade olive oil dressing. And then for dessert, we made a strawberry rhubarb tart, and all of it, oh my gosh, it was so good. And truly, so this was one of my refeed meals. I didn't feel like, one, it felt like a very good option. Again, like steak, potatoes, greens, little dessert, right? Like this is exactly what we want it to be and should be. And so I'm happy, very happy that actually the menu worked out quite well for a refeed. And now that I'm getting to 11 weeks out, refeeds change as well. So instead of doing them every week, now they're going to be 10 days apart for the next 2 weeks, and then kind of gauge after that. Really, if I need them. I said this last time, it becomes more of a mental stimulus, and like, how is my body reading? And then we decide. I don't know if I should use the word good. The cool thing to see is, once again, this is a couple weeks in a row, I had my refeed yesterday, and today my scale weight was less. And actually I said last week I hit like a new low. All week I've been within 0.8 of that number. So my weight is very consistently starting to change in a more aggressive way without a lot of change in my day-to-day. The biggest change actually has been more food, but more food, more output, right? And this is probably the biggest takeaway from this next step, and what we're going to see is, again, my food is going up, but my output's going up. And as a natural athlete, this is a really significant balance. I actually very much appreciate, if you're not somebody who follows a bunch of different YouTubes, I've been listening to Sid's, I talked about this recently, one of her YouTubes, but like listening to I wish I knew what episode it was, but listening to her speaking as a natural athlete to how they handled and managed their preps, and how Damien actually spoke about, we kept upping the food and our body kept changing, and we kept being like, okay, is this what we do? Because that's not what typically the framework's going to be going into prep. But especially when we're talking about competing as a natural athlete, you have to protect muscle as much as you can, and you need to monitor this process. And the more you cut back food, this is where we can get really muddy waters with, one, how you look, but two, what's going to happen, not just now, but shoot down the line 5 years from now. These things can affect you long term, and I certainly don't want to end up in that space, and I want to make sure I'm doing it the right way. And I think that's something Rael instilled in me very well last time around. So anyways, it's just it's kind of a reverse process from what maybe a sister process, and that's great. I think it's cool when people share processes that are different than what you would typically think or see. So anyways, that's going to be my week ahead. Walking into practice today, I am looking forward to feeling good and recovered and fed, and I'm looking forward to performing today. And now I have all of my my true plan from 11 weeks out last time around. Now my practices do change a bit, and so went from doing thirds to now it's going to be fifths. So very short sections, very short, but they should be like locked in, because I'm only going to be doing about 25 seconds, 22 to 25 seconds at a time. It's not a lot. Rest times are 45 seconds, so a little bit more, but now, I mean, this is where we zero in on, there should not be mistakes. It should be very clear, clean cut. So I'll do that. I have to look at my plan. I forget how many times. And then I'll do quarters, and then I will run, I think it's halves. I think we do halves last, and then we get into skill work. And so Sunday is going to be my performance day. This is the day that I will come in yes, it's the end of my week, but with the most sleep always. I don't want to say a refeed anymore because that won't always be the case. But there should be the day that I'm pushing intensity. Saturday is going to be a refinement day. Thursday is going to be a skill work day. And so while I will follow the same structure in terms of how I'm running routines, there's just a little bit of a different focus throughout the 3 days. So I am getting to the gym now. We're going to run practice for about 2 hours, see how it comes together, and we'll chat after the fact. Hi, it is Monday, May 4th. I forgot to wrap yesterday after practice, and so we're gonna go back, and this is gonna be the last video of this episode. It was just, I said yesterday, we had a busy weekend. It was gonna be a crazy day yesterday, and I got out of practice and I needed to eat, so I did not have time to talk because I was eating and driving. And then I had to go to the grocery store and get wrapping paper right after, get home, wrap a gift, change. We had to go, so it was a day. Let's jump back. So practice yesterday was so good. We got solid clips. So I ran my sections as intended, and we got solid clips. And so I did send Ryle my routine yesterday. So this is really the first time I'm going to get feedback from her. This is the first time she's going to see my routine. So up to this point, she has no idea what I've been working on. And so I'm pins and needles a little bit, because I've had in the past where I've sent my routine and then it gets blown up and not always for the better. You're the one doing it. It's so important to have feedback externally, because you get stuck in a little bubble of what you're doing. So I am looking forward to hearing what she's going to say, but watching it back. So I spliced it together while we were still there, sent to Donnell so he could have a version of it to watch, and then I came back to it, and I actually watched it this morning once I woke up and kind of set myself up for the day. And I was personally pleasantly surprised. I kind of felt it yesterday, but watching it back, I'm getting faster, and that's exciting to see. The skill set is ooh, we're starting to really connect well, and we're starting to get fast again. And that is where my sweet spot is clean execution with speed. And I'm going to be better about not having mistakes this year on stage. Hold me to that. So anyways, I was really happy watching it back. Thrilled, truly. I am so happy with where this is at now, that we made another small tweak to the opening that feels more just like me, how I would perform it. I still think that we're going to be making some small changes. I just feel like I have a feeling in here what the feedback may be. And so I'm already thinking, okay, here's going to be the next iteration of how I'm going to shift a couple things. But overall, I'm so happy with how it went. I feel good. No aches, no pains. I'm feeling good this morning. I shifted my morning class 6 a.m. started at 6:15. So my MB360 class is a little shorter. So I still had movement on my body today, but not as significant as it has been in weeks past. And I have a client out of town, and so I did spend some time in the sauna after for a bit, which I keep telling myself I'm going to be better about doing sauna. So I did. So we're feeling good. Donnell told me yesterday, he saw me, he's like, your face looks snatched. I said, well, that's the goal. We are just little by little, right? We're now under 11 weeks, and I feel like to this point, and I've mentioned this before, especially when you go for longer preps, for me, this is a longer prep. Going for, it'll end up being in total close to 20 weeks. I've been in this now for 8 weeks. A little over 8 weeks. I've been in this a little over 8 weeks. And that's, you start to see a downward shift, as I mentioned, but this is where the next 5 weeks is where we start to see conditioning really shine through. And then those final 5 is when, if I'm just speaking of my body and how my body usually changes. When I say conditioning, like I'm getting faster. I'm gonna tighten up more. I still have fat to lose on my body, but we're kind of past the big bulk of having to go through fat loss, and we're starting to get into conditioning land, and like this is where we start to get more peeled. And so today started my first low day, so I am now on low high days, and my high days correlate with my practice days. So previous season it was not set that way. I am doing it that way for now, just see how my body responds. So I'm actually going to have low day until Thursday when I go to practice. So my practice schedule for now, again, just seeing how my body adapts, is going to be Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, which I know is aggressive back to back, but it gives me an opportunity to sleep in, gives me an opportunity to execute. I'll still have incline walking paired with those days. So I mean, this week really ramps up, but so does my nutrition. I've said this prior, as my activity goes up, my nutrition goes up. So yes, it's a low day, but it is actually my higher caloric intake day when I'm on low days. So my breakfast this morning, I didn't finish it. Oh, I tried. I just couldn't, I can't, but I felt nauseous towards the end, and I'm just getting used to it again. But after I had my electrolytes, my green drink, my water, all the things. So I drink, like before I leave my house in the morning, I have 32 ounces of liquid in my body through electrolytes, through green drink, through apple cider vinegar shot, through all these things I do. It's a lot of liquid. Now add into it 30 grams of protein. I do isolate, whey protein isolate. And on my low days now, I have 2 cups of mixed cooked broccoli spinach mix with chia, with flaxseed, 2 eggs, 2 Brazil nuts. I don't put those in, I eat those on the side, and half of an avocado. It's a lot of volume in the morning, and I'm putting this in before I start coaching at 6:15 in the morning. So I did finish most of it. If I look in here, I finished like most of it. Maybe kind of. Okay, we'll call it like I ate like 2/3 of it. I will get better. It's just learning that kind of volume on my body in the morning. But I like this breakfast. It's good. And then one more update. This is significant, and sometimes the world works in weird ways, and this gets to be a part of this video versus the next one. I got back almost all of my labs already that I had on Friday, and we've gotten healthier since October, and I am thrilled. Obviously, I hope for this. Getting your labs back when you have them checked to this extent will shine a very big light on what you're missing and where you need to make improvements. And I took that information very seriously, because there were some things from a genetic standpoint that came up that I felt were significant. Obviously, now I'm also in prep, and I want to make sure, this is a tough process on your body already, but I want to make sure that I'm not hammering it for 20 weeks. Yes, there's going to come a point where I am hammering on my body for a bit of time, but I'm hoping to kick that can down the road as far as I can. And the positives overall, I've saw almost every bucket see improvement. Even my cholesterol levels, which were already good, are even better now. I did see, and this one makes me so happy because I've been focusing on this a lot. My ferritin, which has been such a big concern for me, was at 16 back in October. Now it's at 30. 30 is still not optimal range for a female. Ideally, you're at least 40 to 50, but I am closer to that, and that I think is showing in how my cycle shows up every month and how I'm feeling. My iron saturation rate is higher, so I'm seeing those biomarkers improve, and I do think that's through diet, and I have been supplementing with an iron supplement that I had read very good reviews on. It's a peptide version of it. And my thyroid, while it was not in bad shape, there was room for improvement. It was almost getting like mid to high range thyroid level of what you would want to see. and now we are very solidly in mid-low range. And so actually it's my thyroid's functioning better than it has, and I'm so happy. So I feel like we are firing on all cylinders going in and starting off this week. It feels like, again, we're in a good place. My body feels good, and I'm excited because I do feel like when all these things line up, this is when you go for it. This is when you start to see performance enhance and lifts and cardio and performance with routine. And then the body is doing the thing, and we don't need to stress about the body doing the thing if I'm doing the thing, because the results will follow in a healthy state. So we're wrapping this one up on a very high note, and I'm excited to see what this week has ahead. I do think this is going to be the week that I put out a video just explaining my injury, my big injury in the past, and also I'm going to talk about what's going on this week, because this week is significant with an MRI I'm having done too. So, all right, we'll talk later.